Hilchot Teshuva. It's not really about Teshuva. It's about what happens if you do Teshuva and you're successful. What do you guys think happens? You get rewarded, and eventually, when you go to Olam Haba, when you die, you get to go to. So that is the question of this parak. Where do you actually go when you die?
Hell. You always go to
I can picture it. I have to go to the So I know it's an exciting topic, but the Rambam is a rationalist, so there's not really going to be like such fluffy descriptions of like which cloud you get to rest on in heaven. But the Rambam is going to say some really interesting things.
Wait, but is this a Chabad thing or an everything thing that everyone goes to Gehenna? And it's just how much time is spent?
It's an everyone thing. There are rabbinic ideas about that everyone goes to Gehenna and nobody's there for more than 11 months, but everybody goes to Gehenna for a certain amount of time. The Rambam does not believe that.
But how can we say Kaddish for only a certain amount?
We say Kaddish for 11 months because we think the maximum someone would be in Gehenna would be 11 months.
Exactly. So that's what you just said. So why?
It proves it.
You say it's just some people.
Because the Rambam doesn't say anything about Gehenna. The idea that we go to Gehenna comes from other sources.
Agreeing with another one.
Thank you, everyone. Okay. The Rambam says you should not be confused. There's two different things. There's Yemot HaMashiach, which is like some kind of eschatological time, meaning the end of days. Time will change. We'll have a different reality. That's not what happens when you die. When you die, you go to Olam Haba, and the Rambam says this is the good thing that's the tzaddikim are going to get when they die, and this is a place where you don't have a body anymore. You're just a soul. Does that soul do mitzvot? No. Does that soul eat and drink? No. The Rambam's opinion, exactly. The Rambam's opinion is that when you die, you don't have a physical body anymore. And I would argue, it sounds from the Rambam, you can read it inside. I'm not going to read it with you guys so much, but it sounds like the Rambam's kind of saying you don't even have a consciousness anymore. But some part of your neshama, on some spiritual level, gets to be close to Hashem if you have merited it. If you are worthy, you pass on, and you get to enjoy somewhat, in some sense, the spirituality of being close to Hashem. And we're not talking about this one. The people who are Risha'im, they don't go to Gehenna according to the Rambam. They just go nowhere. They're like a behemah. They get karet. Karet is mentioned in the Torah many times. When you get karet, it's not that you're sent to burn in fire of hell. You're just cut off. You don't get to go to the next stage, Shalom Haba. You just go nowhere, according to the Rambam.
But what about the whole reincarnation thing about going back to Earth?
So reincarnation is a very late idea that doesn't really come up in our primary sources.
I want to know.
And the Rambam says
Is this Gehenna?
that
I want to hear what she says. Hold on.
Thank you, Kaya. That's like the end place for people who do bad things, who are Risha'im. It's not that they go to hell, they go to just tikaret hanefesh, v'lo tiskelo tanachayim. They just don't get olam haba. And then the Rambam says, Shema tikal be'inecha tova zo. Maybe you'll think, oh, when I die, all I get is, if I'm a good person, what do I get? I don't get 40 virgins, like certain religions promise in Gan Eden. I don't get, like, to just sit and eat, I don't know, Hershey's all day in heaven. What do I get? I get to be spiritually close to Hashem. So the Rambam says that shouldn't be light in your eyes. You're not being a good person for your whole life in this world just so one day you'll be able to sit back and eat a nice big chicken. That's not what we're here for. Rather, chachamim, people who are really smart, they know that physical things in this life, we should enjoy them, they're fine, but they're not the reason we're alive and the thing that we're working towards in the next world. They understand that those things are dvarim b'telim, and that hatova hagdola shetiyeh b'hanefesh b'olam haba, the experience that our souls are going to have in Olam Haba is going to be Ein shum derech ba'olam hazeh lahasiga le'zeh outside. Something that we just can't know or understand in this world, right? And then the Rambam ends with Zeh shekaru oto chachamim ha'olam haba. This is the next world that Chachamim were talking about. Lo mipnei she'eino matzui atad, not because it doesn't exist now. Olam haba exists right now. It's just that ha'olam hazeh harehu matzui ve'omed. Olam haba it's always there, and it's just hidden from us. And once we achieve it, if we achieve it, Bezrat Hashem will achieve it, we will get to pass on from this life into a spiritual existence. So I just want to note a few things about the Rambam's theology and worldview here. No mention of hell, but if you're not worthy of Olam Haba, you just don't go anywhere, like an animal. No mention of sitting in Gan Eden. Gan Eden is something from Bereshit, according to the Rambam, not something for the future. It's something that happened in the past. It's not a place that we go to again. Are we physically there? No. Are we spiritually there? Yes. But are we conscious of the fact that we're there? Rambam says we have no idea. And personally, you could find this discouraging. Like, why am I working so hard in my life if I don't even know what I'm getting myself into? If I'm a tzaddik, a tzaddikah, and then I get to Olam Haba? It could also be encouraging. Like, we actually don't know what happens to us after we die. There's something that's promised to us that we hope is very worthy, but it shifts the focus to encourage us to focus on this world. Let me do the best I can in this world, not to get some reward in the future, but to make the world a better place for those who are in it. To leave a better world for the people who come after me, and not just how can I enjoy even more once I'm dead. Questions that I probably won't be able to answer? Yeah.
But I learned that a tzaddik is someone who focuses on Olam Haba. Instead of Olam Hazeh. I always learned that the goal is Olam Haba.
Maybe the tzaddik is focusing on Olam Haba instead of Olam Hazeh for himself. But maybe it's okay to focus on Olam Hazeh if you're thinking about how you can benefit the other people in Olam Hazeh. Because if I'm thinking about Olam Haba, but only about myself in Olam Haba, that's kind of selfish too, right? Very Christian, very Muslim. Say a lot of negative things about other religions and their concept of Olam Haba. But I also want us to be aware that we have a concept of Olam Haba that's a lot more spiritual and I think a lot less self-motivated. I we should be proud of that. Any other questions? And I should also say, everything you've heard about Olam Haba from other sources, I'm sure those sources have on whence to stand. But we're learning the Rambam, and the Rambam is a rationalist. And if you find comfort in Rambam saying we don't really know what's going to happen after we die, I personally find that comforting. Then you should know that there's someone who says that.
When it comes, you were saying that the Rambam believes that there are people who don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Because they did something?
So the Torah says for certain Avirot, you can get a punishment called karet, where you're cut off and you don't get to go to Olam Haba. There's other opinions about what that means. Some people say karet is that unfortunately you die before your time. Some people say karet should be interpreted as you won't have children, you won't be able to continue your line of generations. There's different interpretations of what karet is. There's also the ability to do tshuva for something that the Torah says you get karet for. You won't get karet if you do tshuva for that thing. It's not sealed.
Agree with that?
Does Hashem agree with the Rambam?
Agree that there are people who don't go anywhere because they're too wicked?
Well, the Rambam would say that's something that Hashem has decreed and created. I haven't asked Hashem, though, if he agrees with this Rambam.
I mean, I feel like in the Torah, there's probably places where Hashem is very kind and forgiving, and he doesn't say that wicked people just die forever. There's this one nation in the Torah where everyone's like, we hate them.
There's a mitzvah to destroy Amalek.
Yeah.
But we don't take that so literally. And in general, yeah, we believe in second chances. We believe that Hashem wants us to try again and do better.
And that's in the Torah?
I think we'll stop here.